Giving birth is this profound, incredible journey, but let's be real, it almost never goes exactly according to the script. And that uncertainty, it can be pretty stressful. So in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on labor complications. And hey, the goal here isn't to create fear, it's to build your confidence. We'll walk through what can happen when things go a little off script, and more importantly, how your medical team is expertly trained to handle every single possibility. So many of us spend hours, hours, crafting the perfect birth plan, right? The music, the lighting, who gets to be in the room. But the biggest challenge to any plan is always the one thing you can't plan for, the unexpected. So what do? You prepare. And understanding the possibilities isn't about worrying about what could go wrong. Nope. It's about building this incredible confidence in the medical support system that is literally designed to keep you and your baby safe. Okay, so before we can really dive into the exceptions, we first have to understand the rule. So let's start with the basic blueprint for a typical, uncomplicated birth. What does normal actually look like? At its heart, a smooth, uncomplicated labor has three main things going on, just like you see here. The cervix is progressively opening, the uterine contractions are working together effectively, and the baby is moving down safely. When those three things are all in sync, it's just this beautifully designed, natural process. A complication, then, is really just any time the process strays from that blueprint in a way that might pose a risk. Think of it as a signal that the journey just needs a little extra navigation or some support from the pros on your medical team. To make this all super easy to remember, let's break labor down into three core elements. It's a great little analogy. Just think of it as a journey with an engine, a traveler, and a path. Let's take a look at each one. First up, you have the engine. These are the uterine contractions, and they provide all the power for the journey. Then, of course, you have the traveler, the baby. The baby's size and position are absolutely critical parts of the equation. And finally, you have the path. This is the mother's pelvis. So when the engine, the traveler, and the path are all working in harmony, labor just chugs along smoothly. Complications tend to pop up when there's an issue with one or sometimes more of these elements. So let's start our tour of complications with the engine. What happens when that power source, the contractions, starts to falter? Well, the engine can have two totally opposite problems. It can run way too slow or it can run way, way too fast. On the left, we've got hypotonic labor. You can think of this one as the turtle. The contractions are just too weak or they're too far apart to really get things moving. And on the right, you have the rabbit, precipitate labor. This is where the engine is in total overdrive and the entire birth happens in less than 3 hours. So, if the engine is running a little slow, how do we give it a tune-up? Well, the team might encourage you to walk around, to use gravity, they'll make sure you're hydrated, and sometimes they might use a medication called oxytocin to help strengthen those contractions. And the whole time, of course, they are keeping a very close watch on both you and the baby. And what if labor is happening at lightning speed? The key here isn't to try and hit the brakes. You can't. Instead, the focus shifts entirely to safety, guiding a controlled delivery to prevent any injury and being totally prepared for any immediate needs of the baby or the mother right after the birth. Okay, let's shift gears from the engine to our other two elements, the traveler and the path. What kind of challenges can pop up with a baby's journey through the pelvis? The way the baby is positioned for this big journey is, you guessed it, incredibly important. The ideal position is head down, facing the mother's back. But as you can see from these images, babies have their own ideas sometimes. They can be in lots of other positions, like breech, where their feet or bottom come first, or posterior, where they're sunny side up. Let's focus on that sunny side up position for a second. You can probably imagine having the hard back of the baby's skull pressing against the mother's spine is the exact reason many women experience that intense back labor. This position can definitely make the journey a bit longer and more challenging because the baby has to work harder to rotate for the birth. Sometimes the issue isn't about the traveler's position, but it's just a simple mismatch between the traveler and the path. It's called cephalopelvic disproportion, or CPD for short. It basically means that even with a super strong engine and perfect contractions, the baby's head is just a bit too large to fit through the mother's pelvis. This is often when a cesarean birth becomes the safest route for everyone. All right, finally, let's talk about the support systems that are in place, both the body's own lifeline, the placenta, and the critical lifeline provided by your medical team in an emergency. Now let's look at two rare but very serious issues with the placenta. This table here does a great job laying out the differences between previa and abruption. With previa, the placenta is actually covering the cervix, which leads to painless, bright red bleeding. But with abruption, the placenta detaches from the uterine wall, and that's painful. And the main risks are different too: hemorrhage for the mother in previa and fetal hypoxia, a really dangerous lack of oxygen to the baby in an abruption. And that's why a quick, accurate diagnosis is so critical. Okay, now for a true emergency. And while this is very uncommon, it's something like an umbilical cord prolapse. This is when the baby's lifeline, the umbilical cord, actually slips down ahead of the baby, which creates a really serious risk of it being compressed. And this right here, this is where the expertise of your care team just shines. This isn't a moment of panic. It's a moment of calm, focused, decisive action. The nurse immediately calls for help, physically lifts the baby's head off the cord to get that blood flowing again, and the whole team prepares for a safe emergency birth. It is a precise, life-saving drill that they have practiced for. So after all this technical stuff, what's really the most important takeaway? It's that the clinical skills are only half the story. Through any unexpected twist or turn, the human support from your care team, the clear communication, the reassurance, the compassion, that is just as vital as any medical procedure. And that really brings us to our final and most crucial insight. When that birth plan you wrote goes right out the window, your medical team becomes so much more than just providers. Like the quote says, they are your advocates, your communicators, and your emotional anchors. Understanding the what-ifs isn't about memorizing a list of problems. It's about trusting the expertise and the compassion of the people who are ready to support you, no matter which path your journey takes. And honestly, isn't that the most reassuring plan of all?